So I want to tell you guys that I passed a sheet of paper before coming here to the people in the crowd to ask what type of questions I could ask you. And what I ended up getting was only names of songs. La Puerta Negra, El Jefe de Jefes, Contrabando y Traición. Truly, it's amazing the list of accomplishments that you guys have as a band. I don't think that either you guys or any other band in the world could have thought us of so many accomplishments. And I'm just going to name a few Jose Antonio didn't mention. The group has earned 14 nominations for a traditional Grammy and 3 times for a Latin Grammy. In total, you guys have won 6 Grammy Awards, the last one for Detalles.
I want to correct you. 7.
Pepe.
7.
I'm a little bit outdated.
Okay.
You've registered global sales that exceed 32 million units. You've recorded more than 55 albums that have received platinum and gold records. The band has appeared in more than 14 films in Mexico. The Los Tigres del Norte exhibit Corridos Sin Fronteras travels around the country with the Smithsonian Institute. Los Tigres del Norte Foundation supports the preservation of Mexican and Mexican-American folk music with the University of California, Los Angeles. And Los Tigres del Norte Incorporated has more than $300 million in revenues through selling products in the Hispanic market. So this is just amazing. What drives you guys to continue, and how do you guys keep healthy and motivated with this amount of hard work?
People. All this inspiration, it comes from stories that we heard, the stories that we live in it, a society, our the way we see things on the street, how we appreciate what we do, how the people give us so much ways to put happiness in our lives in one way, and it's drive us to continue every day to get new songs, new inspiration, new ways to communicate, new words that we learn every day from people, and that's what it makes us to believe that we can do so many things. But these 5 people that's right here, when we got together to do something, we got to think very clearly what we want to talk about. Stories from the real life. That's the main concern about us. Not fictitious stories. Get the real story and to put it in a song. Inspiration, good things, bad things, but we learn from that. And that's what Los Tigres del Norte has been doing through the years.
A lot of the people in the crowd are people who are starting business and are going to come out of here to work very hard and struggle with that balance between work and family and spending time for themselves. You guys tour 44 weeks a year, so how do you guys have that balance? I guess many people know that you guys are all family, 4 siblings and 1 cousin, Oscar. So how do you find that balance between work and family?
I'm going to give you the microphone to Hernán because he's...
Can I take it?
He's kicking me right here. I want to talk.
Okay. First, hi to everybody. You didn't say hi to the people.
No, oh yeah, that's right.
Hi, everybody. Hola. First, I think it was better if they invite us to sing, not to talk. Feel more comfortable if I sing La Puerta Negra for you guys than talk about business. I think my business is to sing La Puerta Negra and all those songs. Okay, so let's be serious now, George. Okay, it's very important for us that they consider us to be here talking today because since we were little, I was the youngest at the time when Los Tigres started it.
How many years?
I was 8. Now I'm only 28, so Uh, and I was the youngest one at the time, and talking about how important is the family roots and how the family educate you. You know, it has a lot to do. I think for all the students in here, the way your parents put the things in your head, you know, you have to study, you have to be somebody, you have to do this, you have to do because you're going to struggle when you get old, and then you don't want to be selling tacos or working at McDonald's or things like that. So, in those days there was no McDonald's in our hometown. So, our parents really struggled to give us, to eat, to dress. We used to be in our hometown. We were like in '68. We decided to come to the United States because our father got sick. He had an operation, and it cost so much money at the time. It cost around 100,000 pesos. There was a lot of money. You know, we didn't have a way for him to get operation, and that's how George was the oldest at the time, but he was little at the time, so he was old. So he decided for us to start playing. And I think that the necessity that we start Los Tigres, it was because we need money to support our family, and we are family of 11. At the time we were family of 10 because Luis wasn't born yet.
I was born like 15 years ago, around there.
So I think it's very, very important, you know, that the way your family raised you, the way your family when you little and you listen to your parents, the necessities that you have each day, you know, especially when you come for a rural little hometown in Mexico, I think it's even harder because not everybody has the opportunity to go to school. You know, nobody. If you don't have in Mexico those days when we were little, you know, not too many kids have the opportunity to go even to the next bigger town to go to school. So George was the only one that has the opportunity to go la preparatoria after la primaria. And I only went to la primaria in Mexico, but I went to high school here in San Jose. And I think we always think the education is the first thing to have success in your life. Even if we didn't go to school, but I think going back to the family, the roots that we have in our minds, you know, the way our parents talk to us, the way we were educated, I think that's why Los Tigres del Norte are here right now. Thank you.
Hernan, as much as you look 28, people over here know that you're not 28.
I am 28. I'm going to be 29 July 22nd, so
June
June 22nd, and
you want to eat a month already.
So I'm gonna give you my address that we can send me gifts.
Okay, 21st and 22nd, okay?
The band has almost 40 years of history, and talking about business, many companies fail to renew themselves to newer generations, and I think you have been able to continue to attract young audiences to your music. How do you accomplish that? Do you get feedback from your audience? How is it that process works?
Well, we have the opportunity to be, our stage is our office. We can see a lot of stuff, and from the stage I can see the way people approach to the, you can see when people don't like one song, and then you have to think, you have to look, you have to analyze what's real happened. We have the experience. We can be walking around the stage, but I'm looking and I'm seeing and I'm feeling. And our music is, all the music is through the skin. If your skin don't react to you when you sing a song and you see the public is not getting back to you, something is wrong. And probably the story that you're trying to tell people, they're not believing you. And when that happens, we have to make changes in the songs. We have to reinvent yourself, the way, how you communicate, how are you going to say that exactly world, so they can people move to straight to us. And as when you prepare a song in the studio and you get the song, those lyrics, you got to think first, not the way the compositor bring you the song. You have to fix it up. You have to, it's the piece of meat, and this meat you have to cook it right, and you have to give it the right taste for the people. And it's very hard to do it because sometimes people have different ways, flavors that they can taste before they can comparing you with that. And those examples that I given you today is because we live that life every night when we perform. We have to see. We have to have the feeling. When you lose that feeling with your people, in our case, you losing every day some clients, some people that really like your music, your fans, and then you got a problem in the future. And you get in, you're young, you grow up, you go on your stage of your life, new generations. This is the fourth generation that we've been singing for them. And you have to take a look, all these young people here, so I can, have the impressions what you like, what you don't like, what it can be done. So please, you guys, in one way, and we going in life step by step, growing up. What I like yesterday probably don't like it today, and tomorrow is gonna be something that I will change for whoever be around my life tomorrow, and that change your life a little bit, and you have to learn from that. And when you're learning, you're gonna accomplish in the future and be always been thinking today, but tomorrow to please your fans need new ways to communicate with the songs, in our case.
Can you guys talk about a specific radical change that has passed through these 40 years in which you guys said we have to change in this aspect or in this other aspect to tailor the younger generation?
Well, hello, how are you? Well, being the youngest, I can see, I grew up listening to Los Tigres. I was a fan of Los Tigres before being here. I was born many years after they started, and I remember...
Cálmate, Luis. Te podemos sacar, ¿eh?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. I'm the youngest brother. There's no other brothers, so I don't know who's getting in after me. Yeah.
Don't get nervous,
Well, like I say, I grew up listening to Los Tigres, and I know that Los Tigres have been changing along with the people, along with the vocabulary people uses on the street every day. That's what is keeping us on the eye of the public, on their ears. We try every year when we record, because we record every year, to use the vocabulary people uses on the street, to learn about the problems, because even though problems are similar, they change a little bit because times have changed. And I think that that's one of the main things that Los Tigres have done. And also, we are involved in the community, not only here where we live here in San Jose. We're very involved with our Latin community, but also in Mexico. We know the problems, we know the needs of our people. People comes to us and tell us what is it that they're living at the moment, what is it that would like to hear from us. And we really listen to the way they speak to us, the way they project their emotions to us. That's very important. And I think we are, through the years, we've learned that if we sing their stories, their realities, we're gonna be here. It's as easy as that, but it's also very difficult because You need to make people believe in you. We have an advantage. We're four singers, and each of us have a different personality and a different way to approach the fans of Los Tigres, and that's why through generations we are here, and people come to see us and to listen to our songs, but not only to a corrido, not only to a ballad, they would like to hear a diversity of songs, and there are four different singers that can give people that diversity, and that's something that people likes. They have a different perspective and a different point of view coming from us. So as long as we keep on listening to the people, we're gonna be here. Thank you.
Changing a little bit topics, one of the big problems you usually talk about in your songs is immigration. You left Rosa Morada, Mocorito, Sinaloa in 1968, coming north to find a better future for your family. Can you talk a little bit more about the challenges that you have had as immigrants trying to make it work in the United States?
I think you want to speak, Eduardo, to related to the
I do,
immigrant.
but you know much
Okay.
about this story, because you guys came in. Hi, you guys came first, than Luis and I, so you guys know better about immigrant people than us, because at those times it was harder than today to get in U.S. So I'm gonna let George talk about that.
Well, the issue from the immigration, it's been years, 3 years, and we've been singing stories. We've been getting the real story from books from Spain, when this land from California, Utah, Nevada, Arizona, Texas, used to belong to Mexico. So since we the first song that we recorded, the immigrant issue, it was a song they called Vivan los Mojados, and it was the story. When we recorded, we never thought that they would have that strong response to the group, and we did that in 1973, I believe, and the people, when we came out to the stage and sing the song, we have different feeling from people. Some of them, they get happy, some they cry, and some they stay very quiet and go down, the head down, and start thinking. And that's when we find out that there's something, the community need a voice. It needs somebody to tell the stories. The community, people was sad. It was something that make you happy, but also when they listen the story about this song, they feel pride of what they listened to. When they came, and I find out through the years singing different stories. I can tell you a lot of them. They probably you not related to them, but we sing up amnesty and those years also from stories that we find out through the government, that they give him permit to be legal, and some of it they don't care too much about it, and they still come illegal. And those stories we tell them, but when these stories came out more stronger, it was start to believe what we were singing, what we saying, what we really want to tell. My story, Hernani's story, all the group's story, and Yuri's story. And everybody has a related family in Mexico, cousin, uncle, the story of your mom or your father, the way they came from your country, not only from Mexico, but different countries. And through the years, the immigration issue from us is been very strong, because we have the opportunity to get stories from different countries. We got a story very strong. It calls Tres Veces Mojado. It was the story from a Salvadorian, and then we find out that the community from El Salvador, they believe that Los Tigres del Norte belong to them, and in a lot of ways, the way we sing these stories. And then we start visiting those countries like Salvador, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, and all these people get related to our stories through the years. And the migration issue is one of the most important issues that Los Tigres del Norte can get into them, because all these people, they come to this country, or we came to this country, we live in the dark for so many years. And still, it's a dark, it's a curtain in here, because our government from Mexico, we don't have no laws to help us to survive. You have law in the United States, but we don't belong here because we are illegal. We don't have the rights.
Human rights. We do.
The human rights, and probably people that's already legal, it's very simple. They can ignore this, but people that is not legal is live in the darknesses. And then what it make you more proud, Los Tigres del Norte, after years and years and years singing and telling stories, real stories, through the years. And through the years, Mexico has economically, it was the first divisa from all these illegal people that works and all legal people that works and send money to Mexico. And it was the first divisa in our country. And it's something that it made me feel proud, but also our government is not with us. And it's very sad for us but it's we are in between. We always been behind the curtains. And it's very sad. And that's what it makes me and my brothers to believe that we have to keep singing stories, life stories that touch our hearts, but are only the true, not fictitious. And that's what it makes difference between our community and you here presence. And what it makes you better humans, better understanding, and better prepare for the future.
To help the community.
And to help community so we can together get what we want. We want those curtains out. We want to recognize us in Mexico and in other countries, whatever country we're coming from, that we're doing something, that we left our country, but for a reason, because whatever reasons we left in Mexico, because economically, because whatever it is, we're doing something right here. We are doing for the community and for our Mexican people that stay there and send some money for them to keep living the way we wanted to. They can live better. That's the we came. That's the reason that we came here from. And it's that reason, that word, reason, has more importance than whatever we do, because we believe what we're doing, and it's what it drives us to be a better understanding and better person with everybody, with the child, with the youngers, with the old people. Always treat everybody rights, and that's Los Tigres del Norte. We always try to do the best. Each of us give what we got. We try to give understanding and love. That's what the only thing that we can offer in our songs and our personalities. It's the way we are made. We are accessible is that way.
Thank you, Jorge. Yeah, you guys are clearly a strong advocacy group in the pro of immigrant rights in the United States. Yet Mexico or Latin American countries have so many challenges nowadays that are countless. Call it corruption, call it drug trafficking. Which are the topics you consider to talk about in the future, and what do you think is important to talk about in society?
Well, we can. I think the community has a huge problem in drugs, huge problem in prostitution, and huge problems in the immigration side. I think the more issue that we can get into is the separation of the youngest child that is born, and the immigration goes and take away the father and mother, and they live in this country alone, or they put it in a different homes, federal homes. That's one of those issues that we I think is one of the most important for the future of generation of the new generation that coming in the future, and to talk about that is very important in our songs, but also do something about it is more important too. We just it was invited in Washington D.C. 2 months ago. We was discussing with the Congress and Washington about that issue. That's very important, and they bring us that issue, so we can make commercials, so we can tell the people, sometimes we have to unite ourselves more, so we can not fail in that issue. That's very important. And one of those stories that we preparing is to tell the story correctly, and there's so many things that we wanted to sing about it, but I think first, what is first?
I don't want to open the questions to the forum before asking you guys a little bit about business in general. You have revenues of $300 million per year, which is just an astonishing number for any type of company. You would be on the top of the Mexican largest companies with that number. And I'd like to ask you, most successful music groups are not famous for being wise managers of their money. And you have contradicted this belief. You are cautious savers, but you are also very successful investors in the Hispanic market. Can you talk a little bit about the businesses that you have done and what has driven you guys to do them?
You want to?
Well, I think it's a little complicated to talk in a few minutes about that, because I think you have a report there that talk about that sum of money. I think that came in a magazine from Mexico like a few years ago, right?
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
But I think the information that they given in there is that all the revenues, when we play, that doesn't mean that that's what Los Tigres make. There's the you added up all the concerts. I think that's how the writer wrote that. I think it was a confusion on him, that he even have to call us and accept, that that's how he did it. He set up all the concerts. Nobody gave him the amount of the concert, how much Los Tigres charge, but he by going to concerts. I think he figured it out by seeing the people there, and that's how he figured it out.
And the sales of the records.
In the sale of the records, but that doesn't mean if Los Tigres sold 32 million already. That doesn't mean that Los Tigres have all the money was for Los Tigres. You know what I mean? There's 32 million. The company has most of the money, not Los Tigres. So and then in the dances is the same thing. You know, the concerts is the same thing. You know, you can have 20,000 people, but that doesn't mean that all the revenue is Los Tigres money. You know, Los Tigres just get paid to it. I think, but the industry of the concerts, it is a lot of money. You know, the figure is about right. You know, 300 million a year in concerts, but that doesn't mean that Los Tigres get the 300 million. So
You would like to.
I wish, you know.
Well,
I'd probably be here in Stanford giving classes. So I think there's the information, you know, that you have in there, because at the same time it can cause us problems, because a lot of people, especially things the way they are now, you know, especially in Mexico, with so many things going wrong with the violence, you know, with people getting ¿cómo se dice secuestros en inglés? Kidnaps. You know, that put us in this situation too, because people really thinks, you know, that the Los Tigres have all that money, you know. I repeat it again. It is a lot of money in that business, but
but an dollar is yours.
but not all the money is ours, you know. It's a huge little percent. Okay, so I think you know that's kind of we can talk about it later on the back of the stage, me and you. So I want to make it clear, you know, because he like misleading information, because that person, he even have to call back and say, you know, because we got a lawyer to get it, you know, to because they was put in dangerous too, because there's a lot of money to say that Los Tigres make all the money when it's not correct, you know. It's not true, you know. Honestly, you know we've been working so hard for so many years, but it's not, the industry is not Los Tigres, you know. Los Tigres record for a record company. Los Tigres work for a promotion, a concert company. So those are the ones that made the money, really, you know.
Beyond giving concerts, what other type of businesses, maybe products about the Tigres, what other type of businesses are you guys engaged on?
Well, we are involved in radio stations. We are involved in radio business, and we are involved in the dance halls in different states of the United States. We are
digital
involved
and the digital business with the company.
we are involved in digital,
Digital,
digital, and we are involved with those revenues that the group it didn't do it before, and now it's a new technology that we are involved. Companies that we are giving our name, and we are working together. We have another business with Universal, and we are moving little by little. And you know,
we own a publishing company too. So
we
I think
own
that's one
a
of the
publishing company that all the songs that we record, or somebody have ideas, they can come to us, and we can we help them out to get the idea better, and we have we're trying to put in the future a music school that we want the small children to start learning more music, and that's the future of Los Tigres.
we have some venues too, you know, halls too. So that I'm saying there, that way you know where the 300 comes, because and then they're gonna think.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to open it now to the crowd to receive more questions. I would ask you guys. I would ask you to raise.
Not personal questions, eh? Only business questions.
I'm going to call you guys. Please stand up, say your name and where you're from, and please be loud in order for everyone to hear. Back there.
Hey, I'm Rafa from Spain. Thank you very much for coming. Muchas gracias por estar aquí. My question is about, I would like to hear a little bit your point of view about the internet and the music, because on one hand, you can sell your songs in iTunes. I check that you have a lot of music over there, but in the other hand, it can hurt your revenues because people are sharing music for free. So if you could talk a little bit about this, I would be sure. Thanks.
Well, the internet, especially in the company that you just mentioned, is we have very huge amount of the money and the way they're doing business. We're not
They're not paying back.
paying back to the group
Royalties.
and the royalties to the group. I believe the last check, Hernan was giving me a document about 3 weeks ago.
Take a lot of zeros of it. No zeros. Don't say how many zeros.
It was 300.
Oh, you're talking about the hits of our music and the
Yeah,
internet?
the one they put down
18 million in 3 months.
18
Downloads.
million downloads in 3 months. Money that we don't have. We have
Royalties.
No,
no
your
royalties pay. Now we have we belong to this company that we know exactly who has the songs, who put it down. So we're gonna do something about that, and that's the internet. The internet has been.
I think
It's been very successful in what they doing in their own business. But
Yeah,
I think a lot of people, a lot of artists, and a lot of artists and compositors and editorials, they not getting their share correctly, and that's gonna be, or it's been a big problem for the music industry, not only for us, for everybody. There is no for every country, every language. We've been hit very hard by them, by the people. They don't pay the royalties. It's companies.
you know the internet in like Los Tigres hits, the report that we got a few weeks ago, 18 million hits, downloads, even though they're free, but where they made the money is for the publicity that they put around our videos, around our music. So there's the sponsors, that's where YouTube and all those websites made the money. So that's where we are right now, that's what we're trying to I think we working with this company now that I think we want to be the first Hispanic or the first Latino artist, that is going to try to get that clear with all these websites, especially with YouTube, because 18 million in 3 months without sharing nothing, this kind of safe for everybody, not only for Los Tigres, but even and for the American artists, they're going through the same thing. Maybe a few of them, they already have deals with probably with YouTube or with different websites, but Los Tigres are going to be the first Mexicano group, that is going into that with YouTube. I hope by next week we will have that set up.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow night. Yeah, tomorrow
There
we'll
are
have the
some
meeting, but later.
there are some microphones in the room, so if you get
Can-
the microphone, please.
Can I
stand
add
up.
something to that before going on that? I think that also, it has the economic impact on our society is also affecting us because, like we have talked about our people, our market. It's the people that the worker people, the people that works in the kitchen, and and not everybody at their homes has a computer, you know, and even though there's a lot of downloads of our music, there's a lot of people that cannot get our music in an iPad, on a Zune, on their Blackberries, because they don't have the opportunity to have those things. So, but also, they don't have the money to go and buy a CD. So, economy is affecting us in both ways. We are gonna work hard to go and on the internet and, you know, get royalties for all those downloads that are being there, but also we're gonna keep on working hard to give that people our music so they can have the opportunity to listen to our music. And that's where we have to work together, not only Los Tigres, but also the other artists in the industry, you know. And that's a very important thing that I wanted to mention, because the way things are right now, it's really affecting our people where we're coming from, and that's something that it really worries us.
Hi, thanks for coming. My name is Ryan Prowl. I'm from Utah, or Utah, como les dicen.
Utah.
Utah.
You know, unfortunately, I've never had the opportunity to hear you sing. I've never heard any of your music. I was hoping you could change that for me. Is there any possible way you could do an a cappella number for us right there on the stage?
Man.
Wow.
You know that every time that we want to sing, we have to warm up in an hour, so we'll be back in an hour. No, it's true, you know. It's like the players, you know, they have to warm up before they go to the field. So we have to warm up the boys at least for 15 minutes. Can we warm up in front of them? That's okay. We're going to sing you a little piece, but right now or when it's done? You want it right now? It cost you $20.
And if you want it in English, it costs you 40, okay?
My brain is working hard.
So, híjola, ¿cuál le cantamos?
La puerta. Ah, mira.
Hoy, ¿por qué? La puerta negra. Si todos cantan conmigo, sí, si no, no.
Que empiece él y luego usted ya le sigue.
Voy a parar, ¿no? Pues hasta me voy a quitar la corbata, hijo. Bueno. Por andar de hablador es lo que me pasa. Bueno, pues bueno, párese ustedes también. Si no, ¿cómo? ¿Usted quiere cantar conmigo? No, porque a lo mejor nos quita la chamba. Ok, vamos a cantar un pedacito y si se la saben, pues que cante, pues no se oye, ¿sí se oye?
Sí, sí, sí.
Ya está cerrada con 3 candados y remachada la puerta negra, porque tus padres están celosos y tienen miedo que yo te quiera. Han de pensar que estando encerrada vas a dejar pronto de quererme, pero la puerta ni 100 candados van a poder a mí detenerme. Y aquí viene lo bueno. Pero la puerta no es la culpable, que tú por dentro estés llorando. Tú a mí me quieres y yo te quiero, la puerta negra sale sobrando. Gracias. 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 A mi amigo de Utah, siempre vamos a Salt Lake City, siempre tocamos todos los años ahí, el 16 de septiembre siempre nos toca ir a
¿No habla español?
No, pero por eso, para que le cueste más, ahorita le digo, ok, If you be in Salt Lake City next September, we go to Salt Lake City every September. We play in the Salt Lake Palace. In South Palace. Do you know where it is? All right. So the name of the song calls The Black Door. All right, La Puerta Negra. Thank you. So, gracias. Pero I think. Ya me piqué. No, I wanna say something else. I think it's only fair for me to say that everybody had to sing a little bit of what they sing. You know, now they know how I sing. Now you're gonna sing George sing. Then you're gonna know how Eduardo sing. And how Luis sing. Okay, so I'm already done. So, Prietita. Ahí está, $5. Es que estamos en la clase de negocios, todo es dinero. All right.
Pedro y Pablo.
No, va a cantar solo, dale chance.
No, pues yo me canto un pedacito y tú le cantas.
Híjole, dale.
Pedro y Pablo. Pedro y Pablo eran hermanos y amigos inseparables. Quedaron abandonados cuando murieron sus padres. Pedro el mayor se decía que a Pablo nada le falte.
¿Que le siga o que le pare?
Pedro habló con entereza.
Tienes que dejar Stanford.
Tienes que dejar Stanford. Tienes muy buena cabeza.
¿De veras? Yo me voy a...
Yo me voy a que nos duela. ¿Yo me voy a qué?
Yo me voy aunque no duela.
Ya me voy aunque nos duela.
Tú trabajas.
Tú trabajas, yo estudio.
Al cabo es que el tiempo vuela.
Ya ves, para ver
No.
que tú ya estás.
Lo que pasa es que Jorge se pone nervioso cuando canta ante la gente.
Sí.
Eduardo quiere
Es que
cantar
me cambia
por
la frase de Stanford y dije, no, güey.
aquí. Eduardo quiere cantar por aquí también.
¿También yo?
Ya lo vi con ganas.
No, pues Eduardo lo vamos a poner. Eduardo, 3 veces mojado.
Ándale, ahora sí, ya sé.
Cuando me vine de mi tierra, El Salvador, con la intención de llegar a Estados Unidos, sabía que necesitaría más que valor.
Sabía que a lo mejor quedaba en el camino.
Son 3 fronteras las que tuve que cruzar. Por 3 países anduve indocumentado. 3 veces tuve yo la vida que arriesgar. Por eso dicen que soy 3 veces mojado. Bueno. La mesa del rincón. La mesa del rincón, el jefe de jefes. Eduardo va a cantar una canción que les va a gustar. Se llama Golpes en el corazón.
Un pedacito también como ellos. Yo te regalaba todo lo que me pedías. Sin embargo me reclamas si te daba hasta mi vida. Pero tú, ¿qué me has dado? Falsas promesas de amor. Pero tú, ¿qué me has dado? Golpes en el corazón. Ya es todo. Gracias. Now we don't have the excuse to, from here we went to the studio, we're recording right now. And now we don't have no excuse to be in the room warming up the voices because we're already warm up. So that goes to Hernan because he always gets late to the studio because he says that he's warming up and he's not, he's in the phone.
I hate to be the one interrupting this. because
Yeah?
I'm having
No,
a lot of fun.
Otra. Just kidding.
Whenever you want to ask the people to leave the room, I'll start singing. So, in the meantime, let's give time for one last question. And I think there's a microphone on this side.
Hola, gracias por estar aquí. Mi nombre es Brenda Barajas. Soy de Southern California, de Anaheim. Brenda Barajas. So your music reflects a lot of the culture of Mexican immigrants, and to some extent, it also encourages the culture as well, or kind of the culture reflects the music. And I was wondering, to what extent do you think your music has influenced, like the business of drug use or drug sales among Mexican immigrants?
Well, we sing the stories, we sing the problems that we have. It's a big problems like we discussed before, but I think the impact is it can be whoever we just put the songs there and we talk about problems that we live, and then it's accept to the person what road he wants to take, what way he wants to go. He wants to go right or left, because we only have the opportunity to expose what happened with the story, what happened with the character, like a movie, what happened. But at the same time, we try to give to the strong character of the song, to make it to believe to do the best, and go on the good way, and some other traffickers or whoever is involved in that kind of business. We only sing the stories, and I hope when they listen to these songs, it go for the right way. Those don't get the other side. We only the other side, all these personalities that are involved in contraband and all this. They only their lives only have two ways to end it up. They've ended up in jail or ended up dead in a cemetery. It's only two ways you can take a look at them. That's right. We expose the songs. We speak in the right way for them so they can make a decision in the future when they grow up. And it's a decision that we have to take, like every decision that we have to make every day with our own lives. And we make a proposition to them by putting the song there. And each record that we record, we have a story about the community, because we want to reflect that, and that Los Tigres del Norte have that opportunity, the people, to believe what we sing. And this is the way we expose it to you. That proposition gave it to you exactly, so you can go on the right way. And I hope that this person they listen to us go on the right way.
Unfortunately, we're out of time, but please thank me. Please help me in thanking very much Los Jefes de Jefes.
Thank you.